Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode here in NHL 23. So in the last episode, we made a couple big trades to change up the looks of this team, and we managed to make the playoffs with a 46-28-8 record, and we are going to be taking on Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers here in the first round. Now, it should be a very interesting matchup. I don't really know if we have a chance in a sense, just because McDavid and Draisaitl are really good, and Edmonton actually has a good defensive core in front of them as well. But they do have a couple of injuries, so it might help us in the long run. But we made some really big splashes in terms of trades. We brought in Brock Boeser from the New Jersey Devils with a second-round pick for Quinton Byfield, and Brock Boeser really helped out the offense on that top line. As you could see, he had 30 points in 41 games. He only had 4 goals in 40 games with New Jersey, but giving him a lot more ice time with us and that power play time, he definitely relished the opportunity and helped out that top line quite a bit. Also, Asher Vance ended up picking up another 50-goal season, so hopefully there is more to come from Asher Vance this postseason. He's been an electric player, and yeah, he's going to be there's the high chance he's going to be a Channel Hall of Famer by the end of NHL 23, considering he's already had almost 3 straight 50-goal seasons, and he's only 23 years old. So we'll see what this guy could do this postseason, and hopefully he could bring a cup to Chicago. Also, trade-wise, we did bring in Erik Chernak for our defensive core, basically gave up Jet Wu and 2 prospects that I didn't think were going to make it. And now our defensive core is a lot more solidified, I think. Also, Cale Makar started to break out this season a little bit more, and Brunstrom did as well. So our offense is definitely picking up from the back end, which is also a good sign. And in our goaltending, Tristan Jarry was actually really, really solid in net. So he will be starting in the playoffs for us against the Oilers, but hoping for some big things from our team this year, and if not, hopefully we get some good development so we could fill in more cracks on our roster and be an even better team next season. So there is that. Let me take a quick look at the Edmonton Oilers lineup again, just in case you guys forget, and then we'll get into this first round matchup. Hopefully this team can get to the second round at least, and hopefully beyond that as well. It depends on, I guess, if we get shut down these two. Obviously, Draisaitl and McDavid lead the team. Yamamoto has been really good as well because he is playing on the top line with them. So in general, that top line is pretty scary. Other than that, the rest of the team is pretty average in terms of offense. But this defensive core is pretty nice, I'd say. They don't really have a stud defenseman, but they have 3 really good top 4 defensemen, a solid top 4 actually here in Calfoot as well, and then a solid top 6 pairing. Goaltending is definitely their weak point right now, just because of an injury to their starting goaltender in Ilya Samsonov, who's out till May, so we will not have to see him in this first round. And then also Alexander Romanov, who they recently brought in actually via trade apparently. He's also pending evaluation, so there is a chance we see him in this round. And if he does come back, that top 4 pairings would be, our top 2 pairing would basically be really good. Like Halfwood would probably get moved down here, and Itard would be taken out of the lineup. So basically the top 6 would actually be pretty good as well. So yeah, we got to find a way to shut down McDavid, and then we would definitely have a good chance. He's coming off back-to-back 100-point seasons. So it's basically McDavid and Draisaitl versus Asher Vance and the world, basically, because Brock Boeser I wouldn't even compare to like somebody like Draisaitl, but Vance is pretty much like up there as good as Draisaitl right now, but he's nowhere at McDavid's level in terms of production just yet, but he is definitely up there in terms of goal scoring. So anyways, let's get into this first round matchup against the Oilers. We do not have home ice advantage. The Oilers are 9-1 going into this game, so it is a little bit scary that they had a really good stretch near the end of the season, but hopefully that means we could randomly sweep them or something like that. So here we go, game 1 of round 1 against the Edmonton Oilers. Let's see what Asher Vance has in store for this team. Hopefully he can have another good year in the playoffs. First period, 1-0 Oilers. I guess I'll take it. It's not bad. We're only down by a goal. Shots are 12-9 as Ilya Mikheyev, why did I just say it like that? Ilya Mikheyev has the only goal. So 1-goal game, not bad. Hopefully we can find a way to tie it up in the second, because if we're going to like all of a sudden dry out on the offense, that's not going to be a good sign for things to come. Second period, 2-0 Edmonton. Not really liking that our offense isn't clicking. I mean, I'm okay with Tristan Jarry being really good in net, not allowing goals, But I do not like the fact that our team hasn't been able to score one yet on the Oilers. Like, when you're playing 279 overall goalies, you expect your team to be able to find a way to score goals against them. But so far, that hasn't been the case. Like, we might have to rejuggle our lines a little bit if this continues. Let's see what happens in this third period. See if we could get back a goal at least. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Penalty kill. Nicely done. Come on, guys. Let's at least get one goal going into the next game. RNH makes it 3-0. Not a great start to this postseason for your Chicago Blackhawks at all. Final 7 minutes. Can we at least get one? That's all I'm asking for, boys. Come on. No. Draisaitl makes it 4-0. And we get shut out in game one. We outshot them 33-28, but their young goaltender, who is a 79 overall, shuts us out. Connor McDavid with 2 points. Nugent Hopkins with 2 points, and Draisaitl with 1 point, Yamamoto with 1 point. Yikes. That's not a good way to start it off, guys. Getting shut out by a 79 overall goalie. Like I said at the end of the last episode, sometimes backup goalies could do really good in the playoffs, and that was definitely the case there. Not good at all. Jari was also really bad, so I think I might turn to Commesso for next game. Even though Jari was definitely the unanimous choice during the regular season, we are going to turn to Commesso for a game. And if Commesso doesn't do good, maybe I will already call up our youngster Len Morris from the AHL, who had a really successful season in the minors. But I want to wait for the right opportunity to call him up. And right now I don't know if it's that the case. Because I could probably play him here instead of like Bold Duke. So we are going to go to Commesso for next game. Stankoven's still injured. Yeah, the rest of this is going to stay the same, I think. I don't want to overthink it, to be honest. I'll just try and swap something around like that. Doesn't always work that well, but you never know. Yeah, we're going to just try it like that. There's not really much we could do in terms of our lineup. It's more about changing like the fourth line and stuff like that. But let's see if we could bounce back with a game of our own. We had not a great offensive showing in game one. Well, we did outshoot them, but we didn't score any goals. We need to find a way to score at least a goal in this game. So here we go. Game two, still in Edmonton. Let's see if we could tie the series headed home. First period of game two. God damn. Comesso's doing worse than... yeah, maybe I shouldn't have tried Commesso. Commesso is way worse than Jari, apparently. He allows 3 goals on the first 10 shots of the game, and we're down 3-0 after 1. All from the same area, too. Either our team's doing really bad defensively, or our goaltending is just not good enough. This is not looking too good for Chicago Blackhawks here early on. Hopefully we can play better in front of our home fans once we get back to Chicago, though. Second period. Goddamn, 5-0. We have yet to score in 5 straight periods against a backup goaltender. That's not a good sign. I honestly feel like we're going to lose this round easily just because of that. We had a really bad first half of the season. We had a good okay second half, I'd say, to get us into the playoffs. And now, so far in this first round of the playoffs, we're looking like a team that shouldn't have made it into the postseason. Shots are 24-17 in favor of Edmonton. We're down by 5 goals. Let's just see if our team can get some offense at least going to maybe give ourselves some hope going into next game. But this is not looking too good for this playoff run. Asher Vance has been nowhere. Nobody on the team has been anywhere, for that matter. The goaltender's been non-existent. The defense has been, and the offense hasn't been scoring. Late in the game, a power play, and we don't even convert on that. And we have been shut out back-to-back games by a backup goaltender. Damn, I wish I had a backup goaltender that could win me games, huh? Oh, this is not looking too good. It looks like Romanov returned from injury, actually, because he did pick up an assist on that last goal. So, yeah, that's not great. That's definitely going to make them a better defensive team in front of this guy as well. But we have yet to score goals in the series. And we've allowed 9 goals in 2 games, and we have 0 goals for. Not a great sign. We did win our last 6 games going into the playoffs as well. So, yeah, that's not good either. Let's make some adjustments to our lines and try and find a way to get our offense flowing a little bit better. We are going to reunite Halton with Vance and Nazar. Move Besser to the second line. Move Bales up, Khrushchev down. And then we are going to... Am I going to call up Morris? Did Rockford miss the playoffs? I think they did. I think Rockford missed the playoffs, unfortunately. So I will call up Lynn Morris for his NHL debut in the playoffs. Might be a weird time to do it, but we need to play better defensively. And we need some offensive punch from the back end potentially as well. Let's just go best lines down there, since they aren't in the playoffs, I don't think. And I am going to take out Mr. Bolduc. And we are going to give Morris the opportunity. Actually, he's at a -2. Oof. Don't like that. I'm going to split up Chernak and Korchinski. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And then move Datsuk to play with Chernak. Yeah, we'll do something like that. Because Morris is more offensively minded. I want him in the top 4. And we are going to go back to Jari for next game. And I think that's pretty much all we are going to do. Let's actually try also taking Nazar to the second line. I know he had a good regular season, but we need to just change things up a bit. Try and get our team to start winning games again. Because I don't know if I wanted to be a playoff team if I wasn't going to score a single goal, you know? I would have rather missed the playoffs, got a lottery pick, and maybe got ourselves a good prospect. But instead, we're making the playoffs and not doing anything at all. I mean, last year we missed the playoffs, so at least that's the upside. But we do have a lot of prospects coming in, so that's also an upside for the future. But right now, we are not looking like a team that deserves to be here. There we go, Game 3. We're now back in Chicago. Let's see if our offense could score some goals finally. First period. We have yet to score in 7 straight periods. Oh, I hate it when a backup could somehow play like a complete god. This guy has not allowed a single goal in this entire series so far, as Yamamoto has the only goal. Shots are 11-10 in favor of the Oilers. We need to find a way to get a goal back in the second. Like, Vance, who had 50 goals in the regular season, has just completely flown out to space and has been never seen again. Like, I don't really know what happened with this team, but I don't think we're going to be in the playoffs much longer at this rate. Second period. Hey, we finally scored a goal, and it was Brock Besser on the power play. There you go. And then Yolonen, of course, gave the Oilers back the lead. Shots are 27-20 in favor of us. We're down by a goal. We only have 1 goal through 8 periods of play. Let's see if we could tie this game up in the third period somehow and get it to OT. Or is this backup going to just play like a god the rest of the way? Power play for us. Come on, boys. We do not convert. Yeah, this is abysmal. There we go. Kurashev ties it up. Of course, it's going to be a guy that's been here since day 1. 2-2 game. So we finally have scored multiple goals in a game. Power play. We do not score there. Hey, Connor, sorry, with 2 seconds left. 2 seconds left. And this series is a brand new series. Despite us not scoring a lot in the series, we take a game 3-2 on home ice. Imagine being at that game. Like the final seconds, and then Connor Zary with a clutch goal on the 38th shot on goal probably. And now it's a 2-1 series going into game 4. The question is, are we going to be able to continue with that offense in the next game, or are we going to just be non-existent in that next game too? So Besser from Nazar and Recchi, Kurashev from Little, and Zary from Bales. So still no points from our boy Asher Vance, but hopefully he pops off out of nowhere. Camesso was actually a star in that game, so I thought I played Jari though. So I guess Jari must have got yanked mid-game or something. I don't really know. But Zary gets first star with the game-winning goal, Camesso the second star, and Besser the third. Didn't Jari start that game, or am I just crazy? Yeah, Jari played 14 minutes. Was not that good and must have got injured or something. And then Camesso came in and actually played good in the playoffs, so shout out to Camesso for actually doing really well. Guess he'll start next game as well, considering he actually played good, or what? Seems like Jari actually didn't get injured, but he was just randomly replaced mid-game after allowing 1 goal. I guess we'll start Camesso again, and we'll keep up with our lines again just because that got us the win last time, so we'll see if Vance could get on the board. He is not doing anything so far in the playoffs. -3 in 3 games in 2 penalty minutes. Well, last year he had 8 points in 5 games. Like, he's pretty inconsistent playoff-wise. Like, he had a really good first ever playoffs. Second playoffs was meh. Third playoffs was good. Fourth playoffs, he's been non-existent again. But we'll see if he's able to break out here randomly. Maybe I should put him to center. You know what? That's an experiment I'm going to try again. We're going to try some new lines again. We're going to try Besser on the left side since he's a sniper. We're going to put Vance to center. Yeah, we're going to just test some random stuff. And we'll move... Just flop around some line changes. I don't really care what it is, but I know we just came off a win, but I want to make some changes just in case. And we'll see if Len Morris could maybe get some offense going for the team. Maybe just the addition of Len Morris being in the lineup is helping out the team a little bit, giving them some momentum, considering the kid is a pretty good leader. At least he was probably down there in Rockford for his one season that he's probably going to be in the AHL. Here we go, Game 4. Let's see if we can tie the series up at 2, headed back to Edmonton, because that would be pretty huge for our confidence. Come on, boys. First period of Game 4. And we're down by 2 goals after 1. God damn it, Comesso. He's so inconsistent. Shots are 17-9 in favor of the Oilers as well. Only way we get back in this game is if Asher Vance could help get us back in that game. Because right now it looks like very inconsistent offense. Like, we were good last game, scored 3 goals. But the rest of the series, we've just been not good at all. Like, there's been way too many scoreless periods for this team. So Yamamoto and Broberg have their goals. We're down by 2 goals after 1. Can we get at least a goal back in the second period? Second period, still 2-0 Edmonton. Oh, this is one of those series that you just do not score a single goal hardly. We only have 3 goals through like 9 periods almost, or not 9 periods, 12 periods almost. This is absolutely tragic offense from our team. Having a 50-goal scorer all of a sudden turn into a guy that's like completely evaporated. Like, it's basically the career of Danny Heatley, where he was at his peak and then he just completely disappeared after he left Ottawa. Let's see what happens in this third period, see if we can get back into this game, but it's looking like we're going to be down 3-1 in the series, which is not good. Power play, come on, boys. We do not convert. We're going to have to win 3 straight games against this Oilers squad, which is definitely going to be tough with McDavid, Draisaitl, etc. Wall makes it 3-0. Yeah, this is not a good playoff run. Of course, we had to run into a team like the Oilers, though. There's Asher Vance. Of course, he has to step up with 1 minute and 18 seconds left. So he finally gets a goal, but it is much too late. And unfortunately, we are now down 3-1 in the series. He gets the goal from Nazar and Besser. And we only have potentially 1 game left of the series before we get knocked out. Because Okposo has been very, very good for the Oilers. But the Oilers are also a very good defensive team in front of him too, so I guess we'll go back to Jari for the next game. Comesso has been too inconsistent, and I guess we'll go with the better goalie from the regular season. There just hasn't been a consistent offense from this team. Let's go with that. Let's try something completely random. We'll go with Donald Little on the top line. I know that's completely random, but we got to try random things to see if this team works out better. I don't really know what this team needs, but Donald Little's going to get first line time. And yeah, we'll go to a -2 on this last pair, and I don't really care if it's a -2. And yeah, both goalies have not been that good. But we are going to try Jari for this last game, potentially. So here you go, Donald Little. You're getting a big opportunity. You're a good goal scorer. We need you to be a good goal scorer in this game. If Donald Little somehow outscores Asher Vance in the playoffs, that'd be pretty funny. But Asher Vance has the 1 goal. Little has nothing so far. You would have to score multiple goals in this game. But real-time simulation for Game 5. Let's see if we could fight off elimination against the Oilers. Are we not going to score any goals like we have been doing all series long? Hey, we scored a game's first goal. That's a good sign. Power play goal from Lucas Reichel, of all people, as well. A 4th liner. That's good to see we have to lead. A big penalty kill, but McDavid scores on the power play. Can't give that guy an opportunity. Nazar makes it 2-1. Okay. Oh. Okay, 2-1 lead for us after 1. That's pretty solid. At least our offense is showing up for a game like this. Shots are 11-10 in favor of the Oilers. We're up by a goal. Let's see if we can get another goal in the second period. Come on, boys. Penalty kill early in the third. Stop taking penalties against a team with McDavid, guys. Halfway through the game. Still up by a goal. That's a nice sign, but we need still more goals than that. Yep, Yolonen makes it 2-2. Oh, come on, guys. Come on. We got to have a longer playoffs than only 5 games. It's a 2-2 game after 2. Shots are 22-18 in favor of Edmonton. We're only promised one more period left this season. Let's put an exclamation mark on it. Come on, guys. Come on, Asher Vance. Hey, let's go. I call him out and he scores again. Back-to-back games with goal now for Vance. He's starting to warm up a little bit. But is it going to be enough is the question. And Cal Foot makes it 3-3, of course. God damn. Final 5 minutes here of this third period. It's an even game and Yolonen makes it 4-3. I knew they were going to somehow find a way to win, huh? Yep, we are out in 5 games to the hands of the Edmonton Oilers after what looked like it could have been a promising season playoff-wise. We just run into a really good team, and our offense was completely non-existent for most of that series, which is very unfortunate. Reichel from Makar and Nazar, and then Nazar from Vance, and Len Morris picks up his first NHL point, at least in the playoffs, so that's nice to see. And then Vance from Nazar and Makar. So Donald Little on the top line didn't really do anything, but yeah, Nazar and Vance picked it up when they needed to, but our goaltending just didn't do us enough in the playoffs. Wasn't that two-headed monster that I was hoping it would be. The question is, are both those goalies back next offseason? I have no idea, or next season. There's no question that they might. There is no question that they probably won't. I don't know if they will, to be honest. There's a lot of question marks still with this team. Nazar was really good. He was point per game. Vance was decent at times, but really struggled in those first 3 games, as did everybody, though. Yeah, that plus-minus is not good. Yeah, that's not good at all. Len Morris was a +1 in 3 games. Everybody else on the team was minus, except for, I guess, Lucas Reichel, but still. Very bad performance in that first round. Goaltenders were absolute trash as well. I don't really know what the problem is with this team, but we could just never seem to find consistent offense from our team in the playoffs, and we can't find a way to win more than 1 round in the playoffs as well. So there is that. At least that wasn't as heartbreaking as some of my other series that I've run in the past, but let's simulate up to the awards and all that stuff now. Find out if any of our players won any awards. Let's just go best roster. Doesn't really matter who they send down. Best lines, don't really care because we're not in the playoffs. But it's going to be interesting to see what our team's going to be looking like going into next season, I think, with a lot of the guys jumping up potentially. At least I hope a lot of them get a lot of growth. Who's going to win the Stanley Cup this season? Edmonton? Nope. It's going to be the Philadelphia Flyers, and in Cleveland wins the AHL. So Philadelphia, the Stanley Cup champions in 2030. Let's take a look at the playoff bracket. They beat the Minnesota Wild for the Stanley Cup. And Edmonton got to the conference finals. Surprised that Edmonton team didn't get further with that defensive style that they had. So Philadelphia, the Stanley Cup champions. Tampa Bay, the President's Trophy winners. Minnesota and Philadelphia Stanley Cup finals. Connor Bedard, the Art Ross. Alexander Barkov, the Hart. Thomas Chabot, the Norris. Connor Bedard, the Lady Byng. Parks for Montreal wins the Calder. Michkov wins the Conn Smythe this year for the Philadelphia Flyers. Vasilevsky, the Vezina, and the Jennings. Jackson for Arizona is going to win the Masterton. Ladd from Montreal wins the Jack Adams. Lindholm does win the Selke to break up Barkov streak. Barkov wins the Lindsay. And Patrick Laine the Maurice Richard. AHL award-wise, any awards for our AHL players? No. It's kind of a surprise. So there is that. Let's continue to simulate to the awards. Or not the awards, the draft lottery results. New Jersey moves from 10 to 1. God damn. So they traded us Brock Besser. We got their 2nd round pick, which is interesting, but it's still not going to be a super high pick, but still, we got their 2nd round pick in that trade that we moved out Byfield, was it? Yeah, so Byfield was on the worst team, I guess. So New Jersey 1st overall, Seattle 2nd, Calgary 3rd, Washington 4th, and New York Rangers are 5. We do have picks that we can move if we want to try and move up in the draft and grab ourselves something huge for our team, but it's up to you guys. And And the look who retires, Patrick Kane, our former player, former captain, former legend, I guess you could say. He retires. Claude Giroux. Pretty big retirement class in terms of the names out there. But obviously there's not going to be really anybody from our current roster because we are such a young team. Frank Vatrano was with us at one point, I believe, as well. He's retired now. So there we go. Goalie retirement-wise, Hellebuck, Jack Campbell, Stolars. Not the best goalies, but still pretty solid. Coach retirement-wise, we did not lose a coach, it looks like, unless Rockford has any. Nope, we did not lose a coach. Good. Let's continue to simulate up, and there you go. Let's start by looking at our contract situation. Then we'll look at our progress reports, and then we'll look at the draft class ahead. But these are the players up for renewal this offseason. So the big one is Connor McDavid. He does not want really a lot of money. We could give him that 8-year deal to the 85% trig as well, and he'll be here for a good portion of his career. The rest of these guys, I really don't know who comes back out of them. You guys can let me know what you think down below. Datsuk wants a lot of money. Obviously, he's going to get qualified because he's only at 79, but for some reason, when you go to 8 years, he wants like $7 million. It's kind of nuts. So definitely our RFAs are getting qualified. Wow. Lowry jumped up to a 76 apparently, huh? Pretty good. He might be in the AHL next season then. But yeah, we have a lot of RFAs. Not really a huge amount of UFAs, except for the goaltenders, I guess. I don't really know if we bring any of them back. Jari's up for renewal. He's going to be likely dropping off because of age. And then you have Comesso, who's not good at all, really. So, don't know what we do goalie-wise. We could try and run Pitton and Ratzlaff if we want to, but it's up to you guys. We could try and trade for a new goalie instead if we want as well. Progress report-wise, let's see if we got any good development in the system. So Len Morris up to a 79, as we know. He's listed as now a top 6 defenseman, so more than likely he will be starting next season off in the NHL. Besser dropped off a lot, which is not great, but at least he's on the last year of his contract. What else we got here? Players in the minors. Wow, yeah. Lowry up to a 76 is great. Jocelyn up to a 59, but I don't think he's going to reach that top 4 potential. Pakislati, who we drafted, I think, 7th round? Yeah, 7th round. Up to a 65 at 20, not bad. What else we got here? Ovechkin's up to a 74 at 19, pretty solid as well. Okay, Gorodov's developing a little bit too. Yeah, we're getting some solid growth still from our prospects, so that's at least looking good in terms of the future of this team. Yanamaki went up to a 76. Probably will get a contract, and he probably will play in Rockford next season. But yeah, not too bad from the prospect pool. Let's take a quick look at the draft board, and then we'll take a look at the draft class just to see what picks we have in this year's draft. Yeah, we have 1 first rounder. We have 3 second round picks, and we do not have a third rounder, but we do have a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, and no 7th. So we could hypothetically move our 3 second rounders to probably, and our first rounder to move up multiple spots if we really want to, but I don't know if it will be worth it. Depends on this draft class quality, but we have currently 20th overall, and then we'd have like 42nd, I guess, and then, yeah, 47th and stuff like that. Hopefully we can get some good prospects. Let's take a look at that draft class, see if there's anybody worth moving up for. So this is the top 5 of the draft. Some pretty solid looking players there. Nothing insanely good, like no franchise player. Some top 6 forwards. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be worth moving up, to be honest, unless we could find a steal at our spot. Let's see, Colin Tapper, 3 years out. Right-handed defenseman. No, that's not bad. Might be a top 4 only. Pedro Aston. Also Wade Healy. Nothing too spectacular so far. Timo Jokela. Yeah, this draft class might not be that great. Okay, this guy's interesting. Jamie Corrado. He is listed as NHL ready. Yeah, Jamie Corrado might be the pick, to be honest. You know, he's supposed to go late first round. He might be the pick because he's supposed to be NHL ready. So that's an interesting one. There's also Barry Jarvis, who's 3 years out, but might be elite. I don't think he's going to be, but we'll still pin him. There is a gem in Liam Lilia, who's 4 years out. There is a guaranteed medium elite right wing playmaker here, supposed to go early second round, very early second round, like earlier than our picks. He's medium elite and he's 20 years old already, though. That's interesting. But he's supposed to be 3 years out. So he's not supposed to make it till he's like 23. But we'll still pin him. Might be worth moving up a bit. What about this Willis dude? Any low elite gems we could pin for later rounds? Because it's always nice to find those low elites that are like 7th round projected. There's one here in Gustavs Kabanov. Okay, yeah, he looks good. 2 years out at 19. He's definitely somebody I wouldn't mind drafting. I don't know what country that is that he's from, but yeah, he looks pretty good. It's probably like Lithuania or something like that. I don't really know. Yeah, so there might be some potential low elites. Definitely Gustavs Kabanov, though, will be a good pick if we end up getting the chance to get him. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. So in next episode, we'll take it to another draft and re-sign stage as we look to find a way to make this team better as soon as possible. That way we could win some games in the playoffs while Vance is still under contract. Because if we end up not being a good competitive team while Vance is under contract, maybe he would want to leave this team after a while just because of how good of a player he is and how poorly this team has done so far. But leave us a link down below. And I'll see you guys next time.